What if I told you that beneath the surface of history lies a story of ambition so daring it defied the Atlantic Ocean itself? Imagine a mine stretching miles beneath the seabed, where men risked their lives daily in the face of crushing pressure and suffocating heat. But here's the twist. This wasn't just a story of bravery. It was a ticking time bomb. When progress and peril collided, the result was a disaster so devastating it sent shockwaves through an entire industry. Why did these miners take such unimaginable risks? What invention promised to revolutionize their world, but instead led to one of history's darkest mining tragedies? And what secrets still linger, buried in the depths of this untold tale? You're about to uncover the gripping truth behind the day the ocean swallowed a mine, where ambition met catastrophe and resilience rose from the depths. This is a story you can't afford to miss. What kind of courage does it take to work beneath an ocean? At Levant Mine, miners didn't just battle the earth, they dared the Atlantic itself. Stretching a mile under the sea and diving 2,000 feet underground, it wasn't a workplace. It was a gamble with death. Above them loomed the crushing weight of the ocean, ready to break through and consume all below. Every descent into that abyss wasn't just work. It was defiance of nature's most terrifying forces. Inside the mine, the environment was a living nightmare. Temperatures soared so high that miners worked nearly naked, dripping sweat and suffocating darkness. Their only light came from tiny candles perched on their helmets, casting flickering shadows that turned walls into ghostly specters. A single spark from these primitive flames could unleash a fiery disaster. Yet, day after day, they descended, knowing the risks but driven by the promise of fortune or survival. These miners were modern gladiators, facing dangers most of us can only imagine. Their pickaxes sang through the oppressive silence, their grit cutting through the very bones of the earth. Every step was a gamble against collapsing tunnels, every breath a testament to their unyielding spirit. They weren't just laborers. They were pioneers, risking everything to carve history out of the rocks below the Atlantic. Their bravery didn't need applause. It echoed in every tunnel they braved. But Levant Mine wasn't merely a test of endurance. It was a crucible for human innovation. What came next would challenge the very limits of ingenuity and introduce one of the most daring tools of its time. Yet, as progress marched forward, so did the risks. What could possibly go wrong when ambition collided with invention? Imagine a world where your workplace feels more like a furnace than a mine. The Levant Mine was infamous for its unbearable heat, where temperatures soared so high that miners often stripped down to avoid collapsing. Forget modern safety gear. These men worked barefoot, their skin slick with sweat, in an environment that felt like the Earth's core. Darkness cloaked them entirely, pierced only by the faint, flickering flames of helmet candles. It wasn't just oppressive, it was otherworldly, a constant test of both body and mind. The lack of light turned every shadow into a threat. The candles, small and fragile, could barely illuminate the jagged walls or the tools in their hands. Worse still, these open flames posed an ever-present danger. One stray spark could ignite a fire, turning an already deadly job into an unthinkable catastrophe. Yet, for these men, this daily gamble became routine. They didn't just endure it. They adapted, pushing through conditions that would send most of us running. But there's more to this story than hardship. It's about the remarkable human spirit. Every step they took in that mine was a declaration of resilience. Think about it. They worked day after day, knowing the odds were against them. Their courage wasn't just physical. It was mental, a deep resolve to survive and provide for their families. In this underworld, hope wasn't a luxury. It was a necessity, a guiding light stronger than any candle. And yet, amidst this brutal reality, innovation found its way. The miners didn't just accept their circumstances. They sought ways to make their lives easier, even in the face of constant peril. What followed was an invention so bold it redefined mining itself, proving that even in the darkest conditions, progress could still shine through. In the midst of unimaginable hardship, necessity birthed innovation. The Levant Mine introduced the man engine in 1857, a mechanical lift designed to spare miners the grueling task of climbing endless ladders. Picture it, a system of moving platforms powered by a massive steam engine, offering a quicker and less exhausting way to traverse the mine's depths. It was a marvel of its time, a beacon of ingenuity in a world dominated by raw muscle and sweat. But like all revolutionary ideas, it came with risks that no one could predict. At first, the man engine seemed like a godsend. Miners, worn down by years of relentless ladder climbing, embraced this newfound convenience. Yet, the system was far from flawless. Operating, it was a delicate dance of timing and balance, with even the slightest error resulting in devastating consequences. The very invention that promised relief quickly revealed its double-edged nature, offering both hope and danger in equal measure. What makes the man engine story so gripping isn't just its innovation, it's the gamble it represented. Imagine entrusting your life to a clunky, steam-powered machine in a time when safety regulations were non-existent. The engine's worn components and rudimentary design were ticking time bombs. For every miner it helped, there was an unspoken question. Would it hold up today, or would it fail catastrophically tomorrow? The man engine wasn't just a tool. It was a symbol of progress colliding with peril. Its story serves as a haunting reminder that with every leap forward, there's an element of risk, sometimes fatal. And for the men of Levant, that risk was about to become all too real, with a disaster looming that would change everything. When progress walks hand in hand with peril, tragedy often looms just around the corner. In 1919, the man engine, the very lifeline of Levant Mine, met its breaking point. After years of relentless use, its components wore thin, creaking under the weight of hundreds of miners who trusted it daily. One fateful day, the rod holding the entire mechanism gave way, plunging parts of the lift into chaos. The unthinkable had happened. The machine designed to save lives became an agent of disaster. Imagine the terror in those suffocating tunnels as the man engine collapsed. Over 130 miners were trapped in an instant, their shouts and cries echoing through the pitch-black labyrinth. Chaos reigned as debris rained down, the fragile infrastructure groaning under immense strain. Rescue efforts began immediately, with men risking their lives to save those trapped below. Yet for 31 miners, help came too late. The mine claimed their lives, marking one of the darkest days in its history. The tragedy wasn't just an accident. It was a culmination of overlooked dangers. Warnings about the engine's condition had gone unheeded, and the price of that neglect was paid in blood. This disaster shook the entire mining community, serving as a grim reminder that ambition without caution often leads to ruin. For the miners' families, it was a wound that time could never fully heal, a stark testament to the cost of progress. Yet, even in the face of such loss, the story doesn't end here. The disaster sparked a wave of resilience and unity among miners and their communities, proving that even in the darkest moments, the human spirit can shine. There's so much more to uncover about the aftermath, the incredible acts of heroism, and the ripple effects of this fateful day. If stories like this ignite your curiosity and leave you eager for more, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on this journey through history's most untold and thrilling tales. Who knows what other secrets are waiting to be unearthed? But now, in the wake of the disaster, something extraordinary emerged from the rubble: unity. As news of the tragedy spread, miners from neighboring sites and locals from nearby villages rushed to Levant Mine, determined to help. It wasn't just about rescue, it was about solidarity. These were people who understood the weight of such a loss, who knew that beneath the earth lay not just victims, but fathers, sons, and friends. The rescue efforts became a race against time, fueled by grit, courage, and an unyielding sense of duty. The scene above ground was just as heart-wrenching as the chaos below. Families gathered near the mine, clinging to each other as they awaited news, their faces etched with a mix of hope and despair. The community didn't stop at rescue. They rallied to support those left behind. Donations poured in, and a disaster fund was established to aid grieving families. But even with this outpouring of generosity, the scars ran deep. Financial ruin loomed for many, as the mine was often the sole livelihood for entire households. What's remarkable is how this tragedy didn't just devastate, it galvanized. The Levant Mine disaster became a catalyst for change, prompting discussions about safety and the dire conditions miners face daily. It was a bitter lesson, but one that sparked small steps toward improving the lives of those who risked everything underground. The resilience of this community wasn't just about survival. It was about ensuring that such a loss wasn't repeated. Still, questions lingered. Could this disaster have been prevented? Was the cost of ambition too high? These are the echoes of a story that continues to resonate, reminding us of the fragility of human progress. And as we peel back the layers of this tale, we're left wondering what other secrets history might reveal about the lives shaped and lost beneath the earth. In the shadow of the Levant Mine disaster, a hard truth emerged. Progress, for all its wonders, often comes at a devastating cost. The collapse of the man engine left not just physical wreckage, but a collective reckoning within the mining industry. For many, this tragedy was a wake-up call, forcing society to confront the dangerous balance between ambition and safety. It became painfully clear that human lives could no longer be treated as expendable in the relentless pursuit of profit. The aftermath rippled beyond the local community, drawing attention to the dire need for regulations and safety standards. Across the mining world, the incident sparked debates about innovation versus accountability. Should machines meant to make life easier also be held to the highest standards of reliability? The story of Levant Mine became a haunting case study, one that exposed the cracks in an industry that thrived on the bravery of its workers, but often overlooked their well-being. For the miners who survived and the families who lost loved ones, the lessons were deeply personal. Communities banded together, sharing not just grief but determination. Many survivors advocated fiercely for changes in the mines, their voices carrying the weight of lived experience. The Levant Mine disaster became more than a historical footnote. It was a turning point, marking the beginning of a slow but steady shift toward valuing human life over sheer output. And yet, as the dust settled, the deeper story remained buried. Questions about human resilience, ambition, and the cost of progress lingered like whispers in the tunnels. What drives people to risk everything in pursuit of something greater? What other untold tales of sacrifice and innovation lie hidden in history's shadows? These are the mysteries that keep us looking back, digging deeper, and uncovering truths that demand to be told. Think about it. History is full of stories that test the limits of human courage, but few are as haunting as the Levant Mine disaster. Today, you've uncovered not just a tale of tragedy, but a testament to resilience and innovation in the face of overwhelming odds. As you've learned, this was more than just a collapse. It was a turning point, a reminder of the costs of progress and the unyielding spirit of those who dared to confront the impossible. Now, here's the real question. What else lies buried in history, waiting to be uncovered? Imagine the lessons, the inspiration, and the untold truths that could reshape how we understand our world. You're part of a select group who now knows this story, a group that values curiosity, knowledge, and the pursuit of something deeper. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it inspire you to dig further, to uncover more truths hidden in the shadows of the past? Remember, the curious mind is the one that grows, thrives, and succeeds. If you want to continue unlocking the mysteries of history and beyond, don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and join a community of explorers eager to discover the stories that shape our world, and maybe even change your own.